Greenwood stock trading, looking at themes today. We had a lot of Chinese stocks running. So first, it all started with the Chinese government saying that they will be basically tech friendly. They wanted Chinese IPOs on U.S. markets, etc. So again, we thought that they were going to be delisting Chinese stocks. So again, you just have to find the theme of the day. So let's go back to when we got the news. China's pledge to support market as first step. So again, we're looking at huge Chinese tech companies like Alibaba, JD, and other tech stocks that ended up getting beat down pretty badly just because China said they wanted to bring most of their companies and assets back to the country, and they would be delisting. They would start delisting a lot of the stocks on the U.S. Stock Exchange. So all of the money that came out is now coming back in. So we're looking at Alibaba, which we know is a huge juggernaut, especially online. It's basically the Chinese Amazon. So we see it sold all the way off after earnings to $73. Now it's at 108, and options have been crazy levels ever since it touched bottom and gapped up. So again, I mean, we didn't think this was for real, but again, it made new highs. So today though, we got in on Didi. So Didi Global, it's a Chinese ADR, meaning it's a Chinese company, but it's traded on the U.S. stock exchanges. So again, this was unusual activity. So whenever we see volume that is relatively higher than before, then we always have to take a look at it. Now, I always have my top 10 watch lists up to see what comes up, and that way I don't miss anything, just like we caught Kodak, which we'll talk about in a second. So again, once we see a bottom and then a gap up like this, once it goes, and this should be on our radar at the first, okay? But once it actually goes past or beyond these levels where it's gapped up and consolidated, then we have to consider taking an entry. So again, once it broke the $3 range, it was always going to go. We got in at I believe around 330 at 330, and the options were still one. They were 2 cents at the time. The $4 calls were at 2 cents. We ended up selling out when these calls ended up being 22 cents, and we'll show you the timestamps as well. So basically, we got in, and here's that we bought these for 2 cents limit order, and then the stop triggered at actually 22 cents. So 1,000% return, not bad. Thank God for that. And looking at some other Chinese stocks as well that wanted to go. Lizzie, these could continue to run, so never underestimate the algorithm. Glad these are expiring because we bought some calls that were expiring today. So it's always good to have weeklies, but it's good to have monthlies too, because the monthlies they give you a lot longer for a move. And so we're looking at these with Lizzie. Once we see a pop and then a previous high of the day break, then we know this stock can have some momentum. So we talked about Lizzie at I believe around this $2 level, $182 level, and then we see it went to 234. So kind of fell off, but this may be the first day of the breakout, and so we can see a gap up and a run. Just depends. But the last one we'll talk about is Kodak. Again, this all got started when the Trump administration announced they were signing a deal to give them funds to create vaccine. So again, we went from $6 to 60, and that was a big move. And then of course it fell off, but they've had some spikes every now and then. And because you see, we went back to $11 from $6 back in May. So again, once I saw this volume, I knew that it could have some momentum, and so it carried through. We bought in right below $6, and we got out, or we added all the way up to 640. So it went after hours. Yeah, it hit 640 during the market hours, and then 655 after hours. So we'll see if it hasn't followed through. Hope this video helped. I got a lot of other Chinese stocks, but I mean, if you want to just look and see what is popular in China, all you gotta do is just go to Chinese stocks on FinViz, and they will show you all of the Chinese stocks. So and then you can sort these by tech stocks. I won't go through the whole process, but you get the picture. All right, like, share, subscribe, and catch us next time. God bless.